Welcome to EUPrivacyForAll, Session 65 on GDPR, Articles 73, 74 and 75 on the Chair and the Secretariat of the Board. Article 72 on the Chair of the Board, 73 on the tasks of the Chair, and 74 on the Secretariat of the Board lay down that the Board shall elect a Chair and two Deputy Chairs from amongst its members by simple majority. The term of office of the Chair and the Deputy Chairs shall be 5 years and be renewable once. The tasks of the Chair shall include to convene the meetings of the Board and prepare its agenda, to notify decisions adopted by the Board to the lead supervisory authority and the supervisory authorities concerned, to ensure the timely performance of the tasks of the Board, in particular in relation to the consistency mechanism. The Board shall lay down the allocation of tasks between the Chair and the Deputy Chairs in its rules of procedure. Regarding the Secretariat, the Board shall have a Secretariat which shall be provided by the European Data Protection Supervisor. This Secretariat shall perform its tasks exclusively under the instructions of the Chair of the Board. The staff of the European Data Protection Supervisor involved in the tasks of the Board shall be subject to separate reporting lines from the staff involved in carrying out tasks conferred on the European Data Protection Supervisor. Where appropriate, the Board and the European Data Protection Supervisor shall establish and publish a Memorandum of Understanding implementing this article and determining the terms of their. The Secretariat will provide analytical, administrative and logistical support. It will be responsible in particular for the day-to-day business of the Board, the communication between the members of the Board, its chairs and the Commission, the communication with other institutions and the public, the use of electronic means for internal and external communication, the translation, the preparation and follow-up of the meetings, the preparation, drafting and publication of opinions, decisions on the settlement of disputes between supervisory authorities and other texts adopted by the Board. Recital 139 lays down that to fulfill its objectives, the Board should have legal personality and should be represented by its chair. Recital 140 enhances that the Board should be assisted by a Secretariat provided by the European Data Protection Supervisor and should perform its tasks exclusively under the instructions of and report to the Chair of the Board. Article 64(2) sets forth that the Chair of the Board or the Commission may request that any matter of general application or producing effects in more than one member state be examined by the Board. As said in Article 64(5), the Chair of the Board shall without undue delay electronically inform the members of the Board and the Commission using a standardized format of any relevant information, but also the supervisory authorities concerned. Article 65(3) lets that where the members of the Board are split, the decision shall be adopted by the vote of its Chair. The Board shall be represented by its Chair, and the Chair of the Board shall communicate to the Commission the activities of the Board. The Directive 95/46 lets in Article 29 that the Working Party shall elect its chairman for a 2-year mandate, renewable, and that the Working Party has a Secretariat to be provided by the Commission. The Working Party had to consider items placed on its agenda by its chairman, either on its own initiative or at the request of a representative of the supervisory authorities or at requests of the Commission. What should accountable data controllers and processors get prepared for? The Board will be represented by its Chair, elected among its members by a simple majority for 5 years, renewable once. The Chair will be preparing the Board's agenda, notify decisions adopted by the Board to the lead and other supervisory authority concerned, and ensure the timely performance of the tasks of the EDPB in the frame of the consistency mechanism. The board's Secretariat will be provided by the European Data Protection Supervisor and perform its tasks exclusively under the instructions of the Chair. The Board and the European Data Protection Supervisor shall publish a Memorandum of Understanding determining the terms of their cooperation. In case the members of the Board are split, the decision shall be adopted by the vote of its Chair. The EDPB's Chair shall communicate to the Commission the activities of the European Data Protection Board. So the question triggered now is, will the Board's Chair manage to ensure the timely performance of the consistency mechanism so that the implementation of EU data protection principles will be a reality-based and pragmatic one?